could go on the internet or I could walk into a cricket coaching center and a coach will work on my technique like that. But, no matter how hard I look on the internet or no matter how many coaches I talk to, no one's really going to talk about the inner game. I didn't realize how deep and how impactful his work actually was. The thing that sums me up the best is just I was in my own head. I've always wanted to play ones cricket at sub-district level, and I wasn't quite getting opportunity at my old club, so I moved across, got a little bit of opportunity, so I started captaining sides, but my own expectations as well were probably the biggest factors as to why I was in my own head. All the coaches, level 3 coaches and Premier Cricket coaches, and they're all like, oh, you're good enough. I don't know why you're not making runs. Your technique's perfect. But I go out there and I've made 74 runs in the third 11 this year. It was definitely overthinking. I'd go out there and I'd get a ball, which I normally can drive through the covers for 4. And I think about the time how 2 years ago I snicked off against Dortmund. As the ball's coming through, I'm not thinking about actually hitting the ball. I'm thinking about, I snicked off last time I played that. I can't, now I have to leave it. The whole thing was basically just overthinking absolutely everything. Goal setting I've done, which doesn't really cover anything project like in depth like Project 228 does. And then I've done a fair bit of breath work. Coaches go, all right, you just need to breathe, and then that's when you'll enter your flow state and ta-da, all fixed. But nothing's really worked or kicked off or anything like that. So yeah, nothing in depth or anything like Project 228. And then there was always pay more and then I'll tell you the real secret, how to fix yourself. And I was like, I'm not going to bother doing that. I think at the end of this season, I started reflecting on it and being like, I've made 74 runs for the season. What am I doing with my cricket? I feel exhausted because I captained the side and I started to fall back into the trap of hating cricket again. And I was like, I can't afford to go through another season like this. From what I've seen, Nick takes a completely different perspective of all the other mental coaches out there. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. Going into Project 228, I didn't expect to go into the depth that we did. It completely caught me off guard in terms of how much depth we went into and how introspective I had to look and all that sort of thing. The first 2 weeks were really powerful for me, not just in terms of inside cricket as well, also just outside, to be able to view things more objectively is probably the biggest feedback I've given Nick so far as well. That's been a big game changer for me. The week 3 ones where he started to address fear as like a future event appearing real, I was, excuse the French, but I was sort of just like, oh shit, that makes so much sense. And then all of his time psychology and all that really sort of clicked and like made things fall into place really quickly. Because week 1 and 2, I understood it and I took it on board, but they were sort of just like floating there for me. And then once I had that week 3 and week 4, it sort of just went click and sat in my brain really well. The thing that I always worried about the most was proving myself to my coach. I was always batting really low, but I'm a batsman and I have to prove myself to the coach to get up the order. When I get the opportunity to go up, I'm like, oh, well, this is my one opportunity. I have to do well, otherwise I'll go back down. So even in the nets, I'm always like, I have to play this shot to him so he'll see me that, I'm a good batsman. I normally sort of carry that lingering sort of feeling of proving myself, but all the sessions I've had with myself, it's been just a clean blank slate of me just watching the cricket ball. I'd almost say that I'm a lot happier because I've stopped worrying about the things I can't control. I've heard, cricket's about controlling what you can and, don't worry about the uncontrollables. And I've heard maybe every single club I've been to and every single coach I've had tell me that same thing. But when you're out there on a cricket field and that scoreboard's ticking over, of course, you're going to start worrying about it. But yeah, just to be able to sort of understand why I worry about the uncontrollables and then push that out, that's been a really, really big game changer for me. I'm really excited that I've already fixed a lot of things that I didn't think we would in the first 4 weeks. And it's certainly changed the way I view my cricket and life in general. When I walk out in October for my first game, I'm going to feel like a completely different player. Like, I'm going to feel free, as opposed to, I have to prove myself, I have to do this, I have to do this.